There are two ways in which any government can proceed. One is a way based on what you and I would call a free society, which is enshrined right at the heart of the American Constitution. The other one is a way which allows only one view, both of economics and politics, in which almost everything is either owned or controlled by the state, including the media, including the ideas, including freedom of discussion and everything. There is no freedom of discussion. Now, between those two ways, the free society and the totally controlled society, there are, of course, variations. I think what we've learned in Britain is that we've gradually, over the last certainly 12 or 13 years, with perhaps a little interruption, gone slowly further and further away from the free society towards something else. At the same time, we found, I don't find it strange, but some other people do, that we have stopped creating wealth. We've had a large number of increasing restrictions. And you've been finding two things. First, that we are more and more concentrating on redistributing the wealth we've got, rather than creating any more. To create more, you need a slightly freer society, and you need an incentive society. Naturally, when I see that happening, I look with very great alarm to societies which have gone even further left. That is, they've tried to redistribute even more and haven't had the incentives for people working hard on their own account, doing well for their families, and often then being able to create jobs for others. They've produced a much more prosperous society than we have.
We fight on the beaches, we shall fight on the landing grounds.
Thank you for joining us. You are listening to A Radio, and this is The Morning Moment. We're on weekdays, 11:45 Eastern. Follow us on Spreaker.com and click on the like button. This is a particular piece that I wanted to do, which I've left off doing for a while to let the dust settle. It's from reclaimthenet.org. It's entitled Google Bans Gab app gives the decentralized social network an impossible list of commands, or should I say demands. Google Bans Gab app gives the decentralized social network an impossible list of demands. Here's that piece. Google has told free speech social network Gab that its open source Fediverse app will be banned from Google Play Store in 7 days unless it removes objectionable user-generated content, unquote. Something that's impossible due to the decentralized nature of the app. There are many web users on Google Play Store, including Google's own Chrome browser, which allow users to browse user-generated content and any website without requiring the app developer to moderate this content. Gab's app is a client which allows users to connect to and browse the decentralized Fediverse, a network of decentralized blogging and social networking projects, which mostly host user-generated content. Like with a browser, Gab can't control which servers or content users visit or connect to. Google gave Gab the impossible ultimatum minutes after its app hit #1 trending on Google Play Store. In the message, Google says the app is in violation of Google Play Store's user-generated content, that's UGC policy, because the apps that feature, quote, feature or host objectionable UGC, unquote, are not allowed. Google says the Gab must start moderating user-generated content within 7 days, or the app will be removed from Google Play Store. Since the Fediverse Since the Fediverse is decentralized and allow users to host their own content, Gab can't possibly comply with this demand, so the app will almost certainly be banned from Google a week from now, which it has been, of course. What's more concerning is that the implications of this policy go far beyond Gab itself. Activity pub apps, as they call them, Fediverse apps, Mastodon apps, web browsers, social networks, and any other apps that feature user-generated content which Google decides is objectionable can be given this same impossible demand and then banned 7 days later. As Gab points out, some of the language in Google Play Store user-generated content policy also makes apps a target for media smears, particularly the part that says apps, quote, that develop a reputation among users of being a place where such, quote, objectionable content, unquote, content thrives will be removed from Google Play. Google is already being investigated by Congress in the United States and the House Judiciary Committee for antitrust issues. The US Department of Justice is also reportedly getting ready to launch an antitrust investigation of Google. In addition to this, the company is facing antitrust investigations in multiple countries outside the US. You can read more of that on the link that I will put on my website. But what I want to say here is very, very simple. If you're a conservative, if you're right-leaning, if you don't watch MSNBC, if you don't watch CNN, if you don't read the New York Times, are you getting the picture? If you're not a Democrat, if you're not a democratic socialist, are you getting the picture? Your views are not acceptable. In Canada, it's CBC and the Liberals, but the principle is the same. The principle is the same. Your views, if you are, quote, conservative, unquote, are not acceptable. They're hate speech. They're racist. They're white supremacist. All of the above. Whatever title that they can hang on you, whatever slogan they can throw at you, they will. These people need to be brought down. The only country in the world that can bring them down is the country they're based in, the United States of America. If Americans can't bring this social juggernaut to heel, no one can. No one can. And we should all fear for our future. I have a piece coming up shortly which will explain what Google and others are really doing. It is quite shocking. It is beyond censorship. It's control, which is really what they're after. And if you think what's going on in China is bad and could only happen in China, think again. Now, for my small part, I've been banned repeatedly by Facebook. I don't use Facebook. Facebook is a waste of space. I urge anybody who's on Facebook to get off Facebook because you're not reaching hardly anyone. You're only reaching the people you've already reached. And the same goes with Twitter, to be honest with you. I look at my numbers on Twitter and they never change. Never change. They stay at the same numbers, even though on a daily basis I get many, many, many new followers. The number stays exactly the same. How can that be? Have the laws of physics changed in the Twitter universe? I guess so. Because in my universe, 2 plus 2 plus 2 is rather more than just 2. So when you see the numbers that are following you, when you see the tweets that you get, ask yourself, how many more tweets am I not getting? I was blocked on Facebook quite a while back and I don't really use it anymore because I know it's being monitored. I have other ways to get on Facebook, but that's not the point. I see no benefit of being on Facebook. It's a socialist-dominated platform, and I look forward to the day when there are more social platforms that bypass Facebook and Twitter and all the rest of them. We need choice. Choice gives us freedom. Regulation does not. We need more choice. What we need is control of these big combines in the social media network area. Google, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, you name it. We need more competition because competition breeds fairness. And fairness, after all, isn't that what we want? You can find more at aradio.wordpress.com, where you can find links to us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Gab, and email. We are also on Spotify. Just go to the podcast section and type Canadian Politics with a twist, and you'll find us. We are continuing to reach out to you, so please pass on the links. Please click on the follow button on Spreaker.com. You can listen to all our morning moments at Spreaker.com under A Radio. That's EHRADIO, A Radio. And please click on the like button. And you can now hear a weekend review of our podcasts on WHBJ DB, News Talk Radio. Join us and many others. And you can find all our podcasts and morning moments at aradio.wordpress.com. Click on the Morning Moments tab.